Hi there, I'm Crystal Gilbert, and I'm excited to talk to you tonight about the Aroma Freedom Technique. This is an introduction to what it is, how it works, and just what it's all about. So this is my third attempt to record this. There was something going on that does not want this to be recorded, so we're just going to press through and vote victory over this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we can get started. All right. So the Aroma Freedom Technique, if you don't know this already, was created by Dr. Benjamin Purkis, who is a licensed psychologist. And I, again, am Crystal Gilbert. I am a certified Aroma Freedom Technique practitioner. And I'm just really excited to share this. This is my first big sharing of the introduction to the full Aroma Freedom Technique. So here is Dr. Purkis. And he is a clinical psychologist that's been in practice since 1995. He is an essential oil user and teacher and has been using them and teaching since 2001. So he is definitely a seasoned oiler and has plenty of experience under his belt. He's trained in multiple traditional and alternative approaches and is an internationally recognized teacher and trainer who's been asked to speak all over the world. He is the author of the book, The Aroma Freedom Technique, Using Essential Oils to Transform Your Emotions and Realize Your Heart's Desire. So this is the book, and that includes more details about the 12 steps of the Aroma Freedom Technique, also includes how to do the TMRT or the memory resolution technique that you'll learn about later. And it's just a very good resource to have. So he's also the creator of the Aroma Freedom Academy. And you can join the free Facebook page to learn more about it. So I want to share about my story with Aroma Freedom. This is why I'm here in many different ways, or in many different ways. I'm here because of Aroma Freedom. So I am a certified Aroma Freedom Technique practitioner now. I first heard about it in summer of 2017, so 3 years ago now, was my first introduction to it. It was similar to this, but it was an actual session that someone led the group through. And it was free, which was the only reason I was able to participate, because at that time, we were not well off financially. And it was a very, very rough time. So I was in a place of desperation, depletion, and just really wanting and needing a miracle and not knowing what it was that I actually needed or how I was going to get there. So I had gotten my oils first in spring of 2017. All right, we had an internet connection issue. So I'm going to keep plugging through and get through this because it just is fighting me. So I'm claiming victory over it. Someone doesn't want you to know how powerful this stuff is. All right. Okay, we're going to do this again. I apologize for this. And so yeah, that first session was so powerful for me. I was very skeptical going into it. I came into it late. I didn't even know about, I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't know about the goal. And I just came into it. I think I was even eating dinner while I was trying to watch it. So yeah, it was crazy. And I didn't even have 2 of the oils. I had the bottles. They were empty. So I just sniffed those, and it was still a powerful experience. And there was another one offered, another free webinar offered in December of 2017 around the holidays, and that was a particularly brutal time for me. So it was so well timed, and it was during each of those that I was just obsessively almost looking for more free sessions. And I started following and learning more about it. I kind of pushed it aside for a while, but then it came back. And as I was struggling still, the certification class came up, and I just felt in my gut, despite, really struggling financially, not having this excess and it really hurting us financially, I knew the certification course was right for me. I had to learn this stuff for myself to help myself. And so that's what I did. I got certified fully July 2018. Initially, it was just for myself, but I think a week or so into it, and having such dramatic experiences with it, I found a deep burden to share it with others. So my purpose shifted. And I saw the benefits of it, and I wished I would have had this decades ago. So that's my driving force behind my certification. And I am just now wrapping up a retake class because, again, the first time around, I was just focusing on myself mostly, and I was in a really bad state. So this time around, I am so ready and just absorbing all I can to be as best service to everyone, as many people as possible. So I do just want to share more about why this is so powerful, so you understand what can happen, even if you don't have a great need for it like me. There may be people around you that need to hear about this and just how deep it can go. So I had been diagnosed with a lot of different things, and started really when I was 13. Being diagnosed with depression, and it just kind of escalated from there. But at 8, I started seeing a counselor after my parents divorced. And throughout all my teenage years, counseling, the prescription drugs, and self-medicating did not work. And the counseling and prescription drugs didn't work, so I began to self-medicate, which is very common. And it did a lot of damage to me. I had memory, brain issues, a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into all that. But I got off of prescription medication because I knew it wasn't good for me. The counseling wasn't working. Nothing was working. So that was the place I was in. And that's where I was very in a state of desperation, really, and knowing I needed help, but not knowing where to turn to. I had a very strong faith. I still do. So I was praying and fasting and just desperately crying out to God for a breakthrough, a sign, something to help me. And this kept popping up along with the essential oils. And so I just dove into it. It was a huge leap of faith, but I am so glad that we did it. And it's been amazing. So that's why I'm here now. And literally because some of the things that I've gone through, my healing journey, this has helped me to recover from narcissist abuse, sexual abuse, agoraphobia, panic attacks, depression, suicidal thoughts, and anxiety. Those are the big things that this has helped me to get balanced with, and it's been incredible. So if you are familiar with narcissist abuse or with narcissists, you know that those negative voices stay in your head, and they're from literal people. And so that's one of the beautiful things about the Aroma Freedom Technique. It really does. One of the steps is to identify those negative voices, those negative thoughts. And at this point in time, I had to go no contact with the narcissists in my life who continually abused me, and I was reverting. I had made progress and I was reverting because of them and their toxicity. So I had to go no contact, and that was a whole different level of pain and struggle and just really, really bad place without support. And even though I had gone no contact and put up those healthy barriers for me finally in my life, I still had their voices reverberating in my head, telling me I wasn't good enough, telling me, um, I wasn't worthy, I was a failure, I would never do these things, all sorts of things. So every time I would try to go step into who I really am, and um, who I was created to be, what I'm created to do on this earth and to help people, to shine my light, I heard those voices over and over and over and over again, as well as different ones that I had acquired over the years. And some of those became my own self-deprecating thoughts. So Aroma Freedom Technique helped to effectively clear those negative voices out by their root and get those things gone. And you're going to learn more about that later. But all of this helped me to transform into my true, authentic self so I can fulfill my life's purpose, which is, I've discovered, to help others on their healing journey. So this is really powerful. And for anyone who may have come from this similar place or know someone who is, everyone needs to know that there is hope, that this is possible. And I do want to preface this by saying that this isn't a substitute for therapy or anything else. This is just a huge part of a healthy lifestyle. So we're going to go into 3 facts about human nature. So first, we are designed to explore and grow. We are adventurous by nature. We start off as infants, ready to take on the world and learn as much as possible. And we are also designed to learn from experience and avoid pain by creating inner rules. So just think, if you touch a hot stove as a child, you'll learn, oh, heat's bad, that's painful, stay away from it. Or as you get older, or maybe if you grew up in maybe a bad household where there's a lot of fighting, or parents got divorced, maybe you learn to think that all relationships will fail, or relationships are painful, so avoid them. There are all these inner rules that we are creating subconsciously, and it is a defense mechanism to help protect us. So the third fact is we are actually designed to hide these inner rules from our conscious awareness. So there is no possible way that we can consciously be aware of all that our mind, our bodies are processing all the time. If you think about it, just right now, you're breathing, you're thinking, you're learning. You may be scratching an itch mindlessly, or you find yourself twirling your hair that you don't think about, that you're not consciously thinking about. Your body is helping to heal itself from the inside and do all these things that you are not consciously aware of all the time. And that's where these inner rules, kind of like the temporary files on your computer that are kind of hidden and they just get in there. That's, if you want to have the geek analogy, which I am all for, that's what those inner rules would be, the temporary files that get plugged into our bodies that actually become permanent. So what that can do is create a conflict between our desire to grow and explore and our desire for safety, when all these inner rules tell us to avoid things because they're painful, dangerous, scary, had a bad experience with it, etc. So again, if there was a traumatic experience or an embarrassing moment, maybe if you had a stage or were on stage for a play when you were a kid, and maybe some kids laughed at you, you stumbled, forgot your lines, and then so you grow up just terrified of being on stage. Even if you're called, you want to be a singer or a performer, that's where that stuff can create that conflict between our desire to grow and our desire for safety. So that's also why you can start something and have great intentions and know that's what you want. But there's also that part of you that is saying, no, 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 don't do that. So yes, that is actually a thing. So all those negative thoughts that we collect throughout our lives, some through the inner rules, some through different people, they all begin to pile up and hamper and hinder our ability to pursue our dreams. So again, I use that example of public speaking. So, you know, most people have a big issue with public speaking. They don't want to do it. They would rather go to the dentist, do anything else than do public speaking. And yet, you know, you have something to offer and want to do it. So what do you do? So we're going to get more into aroma freedom right now. So aroma freedom helps us get from where we are to where we desire to be. It helps us to identify on a conscious level and remove the blocks that have prevented us from becoming our absolute best selves and achieving our heart's desires. Those blocks are a result of limiting beliefs, attitudes, and memories, or a limiting mindset. But they can be transformed, and I am proof of that. It helps us to identify objections, those inner rules, telling us why we cannot do or have something that we desire. Those inner objections are there for a reason, which I've mentioned before, and that's to protect us. But at some point along the way, those inner rules may no longer serve us. They may actually be hindering us. So Aroma Freedom Technique actually does help to release those objections, those rules, to create a new rule that is beneficial to us and that does align with where we are trying to go and what we are trying to accomplish. So as a summary, the Aroma Freedom Technique is a simple tool for helping us identify, release, and transform the limiting beliefs and unresolved emotions that are interfering with our current life goals and intentions. So just a few more things that are very important to cover. It is a very easy and gentle technique. And most people report feeling energized and confident afterwards. And now I do want to make sure to share that for those, especially like me, who are going through very deep things, it can produce an emotional detox reaction. So a person can, to some level, feel energized and confident, but also go through what feels like a physical detox and can feel drained or exhausted. So it's very important, just like after you get a massage, to detox physically, you want to drink lots of water when you are doing this emotional work, this emotional detox work, especially if you start feeling foggy, not yourself, etc. So you can learn how to use this on yourself or others to learn how to take control of your emotions. And how important is that? We can actually learn how to control our emotions, to move them from a place of imbalance to a place of balance, where we are no longer in the back seat. So it is completely non-medical. There is absolutely no diagnoses involved, and it is not therapy or counseling. So actually, if you are, say if you were to have a one-on-one session with me, the less I know about you, the better. So this is not a place to share every detail or ask for advice on this or that situation. All right, another internet connection issue again. So I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. Okay. So as I was saying, actually, the less I know, the better. It's not therapy, and it's actually encouraged to not share because that can actually hinder the practitioner with the technique. So it does exclusively use Young Living essential oils because they are the purest and most effective. And we'll go more into detail about that a little bit later. And the Aroma Freedom Technique is proven effective. It's been adopted by thousands of people worldwide. So how does Aroma Freedom actually work? So again, I want to preface this by saying it's not a substitute for psychotherapy. It will not solve all of your life's problems, but it does help to get our emotional energy flowing in a positive direction towards growth and expansion rather than contracting in fear, doubt, and paralysis. It helps to identify the emotion felt in response to the negative inner voice. And why is that important? Well, there is an emotion body connection. So every emotion has a physical expression. The Aroma Freedom Technique identifies where those negative feelings are showing up in our bodies. And the feeling might show up in a specific posture, like slumping down. It can be in a different position, even a subtle clenching of the jaw or an eyebrow twitch. Um, it's possible to feel different things in several places at once, or even a tingling, rushing, or an energy charge all over. So the memory complex consists of the negative voice, the emotion, and how we feel that emotion show up in our bodies, as well as the memory that comes up when we allow ourselves to surrender and experience them. So in dissolving the memory complex, which is through the intentional use of essential oils during the Aroma Freedom Technique, that process is what makes it so powerful. Because the best way I like to share about this is to give the analogy like it really is pulling that thing out up by the root, and it just dissolves, disintegrates. So it's no longer an issue. You can literally dissolve negative thoughts with essential oils. So the biggest part of how it works is smell. The response to smell is very powerful and it's automatic. So smell and the brain. The olfactory nerve connects directly to the limbic system in the brain. This is where the primitive approach, avoidance, or safe, unsafe feelings are created. Those inner rules. Our body creates these rules that get filed. And scent can access those files that are connected to the memory situation. So you can think of it like a cross reference, like, if you go to the library in the old school index cards that I used to have when I was little, you would have your main topic and then you would have the subtopics. So the main topic might be the memory, and another one might be the feeling, and the other might be a negative voice. And these in the filing system, it'll all eventually connect together so you can pull one and get connected to the other. That's the amazing process of how our memory works. So this thing right here in the middle of the red circle is called the amygdala. And the amygdala triggers the fight, flight, or freeze survival response. So every single time we have an experience, that is getting triggered. And that is part of what creates that inner rule that tells us if something is safe or if it's to be avoided or if it's neutral. And smell is an immediate trigger to the amygdala. The benefit of integrating essential oils through inhalation is that they work automatically and rapidly, going to the brain, passing through the blood-brain barrier within 3 seconds. And they work below the level of conscious thought, which is very, very important. It travels directly to the emotional center of the brain, which is the amygdala, and it begins to calm the amygdala. So that is taking that fight, flight, or freeze action, and the amygdala is the body's natural response center for that. And it just begins to calm it and say, hey, this is okay. This is okay. This is okay. So it's taking that charge off of it, that response of stress, and calming it down. And of course, if you have learned much about how stress affects the body, it is a very serious thing. It takes a huge toll on our bodies and is one of the roots of all illness, disease, conditions, etc. So it also, scents can unlock our earliest and most emotionally charged memories. So just think about, for instance, if you had a grandmother that baked chocolate chip cookies all the time, and maybe your home life with your parents was not very safe, maybe they fought all the time, and you would go to your grandmother's house and just feel so warm, so inviting, so comforted, and that was like your happy place. So when you smell those chocolate chip cookies, even long after your grandma may have passed away, you can smell that and instantly almost be transported back to that time. And that feeling of comfort or joy can come over you almost instantaneously. That's the power of smell and how smell is connected to our memories. So, why essential oils? Well, first off, they are all natural and they do come directly from plants. They are distilled directly from the plants, and Young Living tries to preserve them as much as possible so the oils are as close to what you're getting out of the plant as they possibly can. They do have complex and balancing aromas, which is really great for emotional support. And these are safe for the brain. The Young Living oils are safe for the brain. That's super important because that emotional center, our brain, affects our entire body, our health, our emotional wellness. And they do have therapeutic benefits. The signaling molecules um, give or produce a bodily response. So why do we only use Young Living essential oils for the Aroma Freedom Technique? Well, there's a couple reasons. And first is the purity. Young Living is very transparent, so we know exactly where these oils are coming from, how they were produced, whether there were pesticides or any toxic chemicals getting into the soil, which there isn't, and from seed to seal. So we know where the stuff came from all along. We know it's the real deal, the purest stuff possible. And they're also inspired blends. So emotional balance has always been a cornerstone of Gary Young's teachings, and he has created many of the essential oil blends. They have been inspired for that purpose of emotional balance. You can think of joy, inner child, release, forgiveness, Sarah, which stands for sexual abuse, ritual abuse. Very, very good one. There's trauma life, so many good ones, but especially what comes to mind is valor. So he created so many of these. He was very inspired um, specifically to help the members with this. And many blends do have the purpose of dissolving negative memories, thoughts, and attitudes, and helping to create a positive outlook so that people can move toward their dreams and goals. So, Young Living, Gary's vision and purpose for these oils align so perfectly with what Aroma Freedom Technique does, is, and hopes to accomplish. So there's also consistent results in using these oils, again, because these aren't just manufactured for quick production and profit. It's really focused on the therapeutic properties of the oils and every member having these amazing experiences with these. The people who really need help can get them. And so that's why Aroma Freedom Technique exclusively uses Young Living essential oils. So now I'm going to share about some of the different aspects of the Aroma Freedom Technique. And you don't need to worry or get super involved in all of these. This just gives a good template and understanding for what can be accomplished when you do have an Aroma Freedom Technique session. So I had to update this a little bit because Dr. Perkis just recently released his sixth part of the Aroma Freedom Technique. And you can see on the scale that it can cover the range from past, present, and future. So there's the Memory Resolution Technique, or TMRT, that deals mostly with the past, going up to Aroma Clear, an Aroma Reset, which deals with the present, then Aroma Boost, Aroma Freedom, and the latest one is Doomsday. So that is a working title right now. It may stay the same, it may not, but you know that there is an option here. So the Memory Resolution Technique, or TMRT for short, basically deals with people who are feeling haunted by their past. So you can have past memories that just come up and won't leave you alone, or come up at different times. And there's going to be a really heavy, high, powerful emotional charge to those memories. So a lot of these can be in the form of flashbacks, nightmares, or conscious, painful, or upsetting memories that come to the surface. So whenever you think about that, it's going to be very powerful, and you can almost feel like you're right there, right back in it. And the good news is that with the TMRT technique, it can clear out the emotional charge of that very quickly. And I do want to clarify that it does not actually erase memories. That's not what's going on here. What it does is just clear out the negative charge to it. So if there was one traumatic incident that happened when you were, 4, and you just go back to it and it just locks you up in terror, or it has this really strong response and you're just like wrecked. What it does, it doesn't change that memory as far as what it is, doesn't erase it, but it takes off that charge, that powerful thing. So you can think about it and not be triggered, which is amazing. And this is one that I've used on myself quite frequently for many of the different traumatic things that have gone on in my life that were haunting me and keeping me stuck and held back. And it's just been truly life-changing and powerful. So the next one is Aroma Clear. And this is really for when you get triggered. So this would be like having an emotional response that is totally out of proportion to the reality of the problem. So for instance, just for an example, like crying over spilt milk, or a very common one, which is having an angry outburst or a rant, or just having your total day like wrecked or ruined because of a social media comment. Maybe you posted something and someone had a comment, or you saw even just someone else's post or something, and it just triggered you, and your whole day is wrecked, and you have this, outburst, or you burst into tears, or you're an anxiety ball. So that's what Aroma Clear would really be best for. So the next is Aroma Reset. And that is for people in the present when they are feeling overwhelmed with a present situation. So we're actually going to go through this in just a little bit. So it's a 1-minute technique to clear out the feelings of overwhelm so you can go about your day. And you can do this as often as needed. And it's a great introduction for sharing the effectiveness of essential oils. It's also very easy to share with others. So I love, love, love teaching this technique, which is why I have included it in this presentation, because it is so simple. So the Aroma Boost is another one of my new favorites. This is more recent. I did not have this the first time around when I learned it. So I have been utilizing this as I've been working on finishing a really big exam and different classes wrapping up, and just being totally like brain fried and so done and over it. So I may have done a bit of procrastinating. All right, sharing screen again, another internet connection issue. So it will not stop me. You guys are going to get this information. All right, so back to the Aroma Boost. I have been using this to deal with my exams, my classes, all the coursework that I have just been so over, lacking the motivation for. And this has been truly amazing for me. I'm so excited that Dr. Perkis has incorporated this into the program. And I'll be teaching this a lot more from now on. So this, again, is when you know you need to do something, but you find yourself delaying or finding all these different chores or things to do, or you're just simply making up your mind that you're not going to do it. It's procrastination. And when that's your issue, or you're just lacking that motivation, the Aroma Boost is for you. It takes about 15 minutes, and it truly can crush procrastination. And so much so that it can lead to you wanting to just rush right out and get that stuff done. So literally, I have done this, and I've dragged on for hours before, done a boost, and then by the end of it, I couldn't even finish it. I was so excited. I'm like, yes, I'm going to do it. And so I just couldn't wait to get this stuff done. So yeah, this is pretty powerful as well. You parents, you may also want to use it with your children for motivating them to clean their bedrooms on time. That's just a little parent to parent thing right there. All right, so next is the Aroma Freedom Technique that you are more familiar with, you have heard about. This is the main technique that is taught. And this is for when you are feeling stuck. You know you want to do something, you know you need to go get healthy or start meal prepping or moving forward or doing this or doing that, and you just are not doing it. So it's a little bit different than the procrastination, because with the aroma boost, you know why you're not doing it. You just don't want to do it. With the Aroma Freedom Technique, you're stuck and you don't know why you're stuck. So this includes a 12-step process. And it's really focused on setting goals and achieving them. So this is really powerful as part of a coaching program, and is not meant to be just a one session thing, but it's really more effective when it's done multiple sessions more consistently. So it helps to discover what limiting mindset, belief, or inner role is keeping you stuck. It really helps to connect those dots and bring that subconscious thing that's hindering you up to the conscious level. And again, it's for when you do not know why you're not progressing. So you have done all the things, your mind even wants some of these things, but there's something in you holding you back and you just don't know why you're not achieving those goals. So again, this is the main technique taught. You're going to hear this a lot. And all the other ones, the clear, reset, boost, are derivatives of the Aroma Freedom Technique. So this is good for business, health, lifestyle, relationships, just really everything. You can set a goal for anything, and this is going to help you with it. So the newest one, which I'm very excited about, is the Doomsday Technique, which may sound a little different, maybe not sound so inspiring, but for others it can sound absolutely perfect. So again, this is really when someone is so worried about the future that it's almost stealing the present from them. And I'm sure you can relate to that with the things going on in the world right now. So yeah, this deals with the future, health. Say if there's a diagnosis that's not good, it can be related to that. It can be about things going on in the world or where the world's going, or just a feeling or a sense of unease that you don't even really know what exactly it is. You just feel off. And it's really when you are focused or hindered or blocked with all the potential bad things that could happen. It's the what ifs. It's the worst case scenario for you. So, and I think this is something we can all relate to. Maybe we have different specific things that we may be worried about, but I think we all can relate to this right now, and which is why it's so perfect that Dr. Purkis has shared this right now. So if you are ready to try out the Aroma Freedom Technique for yourself, we will not be doing the full one tonight. We are going to do the reset, like I mentioned. So go ahead and grab lavender, frankincense, and stress away if you have it. If you don't have it, you can just grab any calming oil or oil blend that you're really drawn to. And so now you're just going to think of a current situation that feels overwhelming, frustrating, or confusing. And yes, just one. You can go back and repeat this as many times possible if you have multiple things popping up. But for now, just focus on one at a time. So the next step, you're going to find one word, just one word, that describes how you feel when you picture that situation. So that can be like feeling sad, lonely, fearful, shame. So the next step is to notice where you feel that emotion in your body. Where do you feel the sadness? Notice where you feel anger. You can feel it in your head, your heart. It can be in the gut. Um, it can be just a body posture. You may find yourself slumping. Again, the clenched jaw, the eyebrow twitch. There's anything. This is the time for you to just to step back out of your thinking brain and really notice what's going on right now. So once you have that one word emotion, you're going to identify the negative thought connected to the feeling. And again, you're not really thinking and trying to force something to come up. You're stepping back objectively to see what's coming up, to see what's there. So it can be something that is saying, I don't have enough time, I'm not good enough, or yeah, right. It can be any negative thought, negative voice, or inner resistance that comes up that's connected to the feeling. So once you have that, you're going to move to the next step, which is smelling the essential oils. So you're just going to take 1 drop each of the lavender, frankincense, and stress away, which is also called the memory release blend. Or if you don't have those, you can use your other oil at this time. And all you need is 1 drop. And you're just going to put it on your palm, and I'll demonstrate for you. So you're going to grab your bottle, just put a drop on your palm, rub it together, and you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to inhale deeply, cupping your hands over your nose and mouth. You don't need to put it right up there if you're not comfortable with it. You can hold it back a distance if it's very strong for you, especially if you're new to oils. So wherever is comfortable for you, you're going to just inhale as you close your eyes and focus on the situation and the feeling and the bodily sensation where you felt that feeling in your body and the negative thought connected to it all. And then you're going to notice what happens to that picture as you're inhaling those oils. Notice what's happening to the picture of the situation and how you feel in your body and your mind. And if you need more time at this step, you can just pause it. So now you've learned about the Aroma Freedom Technique and all the derivatives from it, a bit about the science of why it works, how it works, and the power and impact it can have. So what next? So if you are feeling stuck or procrastinating or whatever it may be, or maybe you're just consumed with worry, if you're ready to break free from that in the different areas of your life, your career, relationships, wellness, etc., then there's a couple options for you that I'm going to share with you right now. So first, what we just did, you just did the aroma reset. It took about a minute. You can do that. You can go back and watch this as many times as you need to and do this every day, multiple times a day, if possible, whatever you need to do as often as you need to do it. You can practice the aroma reset for yourself. So next, I am so excited. I am sharing another class. This one's going to be a little bit different because this is just about introduction to the Aroma Freedom Technique. So Wednesday, July 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern, I am going to be leading a class I created on my own. So it's not something anyone else would really have done themselves. And it's my first launch of it. It's called the Daily Boost with Aroma Freedom Technique. And I'm going to be teaching on the reset and the boost and a few other things that you can incorporate into your daily routine to help you get through the day, to give you that boost you need. It's definitely best to do this in the morning. You can easily incorporate that into your morning routine, or just at the end of the day when you come home from work, or just want to get rid of the stress of the day. And it is a free class I'm offering as a gift to everyone during these times. And I want to get the word out and help as many people as possible. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check out the information in the Limelight. I'll be posting and updating up until the day of the class. So the next thing you can do, if something came up for you during that reset, or you just know that there's a lot of stuff there, you need to go deeper, then you are welcome to schedule a one-on-one session with me. You can email me at thevinewellnessllc@gmail.com. And make sure you put the subject AFT in there so I can see it and check it quickly, and that it doesn't get lost in the emails, that I will get to yours a lot quicker. So there's definitely that, and I am offering a special discount for anyone who has watched this and needs a session. And I am also available for group sessions tailored to your needs. So I do get a lot of Young Living business requests to tailor it to help their groups. I can also make specific group sessions for children with parents included, things like crushing cravings, all sorts of things. It's really just tailored to your needs, your group's needs. So there is that option. I do offer different group rates depending on the needs and what I'm pouring into that session. And I also offer special bundle coaching discounts. I mentioned earlier that the Aroma Freedom Technique really is best when utilized as part of a coaching program. So a one session once a year is going to be great, but that's not really going to move you closer to your goals at a faster rate. So that's why I offer the special bundle coaching discounts to help encourage you and reward you for taking that care to do what you need to do for yourself. So next, I get this a lot when we are sharing about Aroma Freedom Technique, when people learn about it, experience it, and understand how powerful this can be. So there is an option to become a certified Aroma Freedom Technique practitioner. There's a lot of different benefits to it. One is your ability to charge for your services. So if you do know, all right, we had that glitch again. It is trying so hard to knock me off. Okay. So going back to it, the practitioner, you do have the ability to charge for your services. You can teach anyone, yourself, whoever, the Aroma Freedom Technique on your own, but you can only charge for it if you are certified as a practitioner. So I can also attest that while you're taking that certification, it will be a time of intensive personal and professional growth. Like I have mentioned, I am just wrapping up the retake, and each time I've taken it, it has just brought me to even greater levels, and just really just been that intensive that I needed to basically rid off all the excess layers that I have been carrying around and didn't need. So if that's something you feel you need too, this would be a great fit for you. You're going to develop the skills to work with any client confidently. And again, some of my history, I was agoraphobic, which means I had panic attacks, even talking on the phone to people. And look at me now. It's amazing. So you're going to get those skills and work with it to help you in whatever state you come into it. You don't have to be anything going into it. It's amazing. But you'll come out with a lot more confidence, and you'll have a whole support system and team. And Dr. Perkis is amazing. And a lot of the other practitioners, it becomes more like family. So encouraging and empowering for yourself and for the lives that you're going to touch. So you're also going to remain current on the latest updates and protocols as they're released, just like Dr. Perkis released the Doomsday Technique very recently. And you can help the world from your own home. I am in my own home right now. I didn't have to leave, and it's amazing. So if you are looking for that or an extra source of income or a way to stay home with your family, but still do something amazing, bring in an income, and feel really, really good about it. This is a huge option, especially right now with the way things are going with the uncertainties. I'm actually certified as a raindrop technique specialist, but with some of the different things going on, I can't really advertise to bring people into my office. So the Aroma Freedom Technique, the ability to do it via Zoom has been amazing for me and my practice. So the other thing I want to make sure is very well understood is that there is another certification class starting this Monday, July 27th. So I do believe there is still time to get into it if you are interested, if you just feel that gut thing. It is a calling. I do believe it's a calling. So you can email Dr. Perkis at ben@aromafreedom.com to answer any questions you may have and have a chat with him, see if it's the right fit for you. You can also talk finances, payment plans, anything like that. Um, and if you feel like you're ready to sign up, if you're a blue like me, you can just click that link and I'll add the link in the posts so you have them, because obviously you can't just click the slide. But I will make it all easy for you and you can just click that and get signed up. But I can vouch that this is not just for serving others. This is really about taking your own personal development and growth to new heights. So there are plenty of resources available. I mentioned the Aroma Freedom Technique book to you before. There's the Aroma Reset Technique mini book. There's a lot of different things. So you can check them out at aromafreedom.com. If you want to order anything, you can use my link there, my affiliate link. I would really appreciate it. Another thing is that Dr. Perkis did create what's called the Transformation Club, and this is open to everyone who is not a practitioner. So anyone interested in learning more about the Aroma Freedom Technique can just simply sign up for this club. There is a monthly membership of $29, and you're going to have access, on demand to all the webinars and replays. And it's a really awesome way to get acclimated, to get in, to learn more about it. You can even do it for 1 month and see if it's a good fit for you. I'm not sure if he's running a free trial right now or not, but you can definitely email him again at ben@aromafreedom.com to ask him more about the Transformation Club. Or if you know you want to get plugged into it and you just want more, again, you can click that link there and get signed up. And I'll be happy to see you in there. So that concludes the presentation with all the internet connection issues in between. I thank you for sticking with me, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. And especially if you have gone through some of the things that I've gone through or have just been in a place of stuck, that you have a bit more hope right now and you can see how easy and effective this can be. So I am happy to answer any questions, talk with you one-on-one, whatever. I'm here. And I know there's also other practitioners in the group as well. So just reach out, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much for joining and being a part of this. It does mean a lot. When we start to learn how to take care of ourselves, we can better impact and shine our lights on the world. And that right now, with the way things are in the world, that's amazing. So, bye.